If I could give a shout out to John Lennon, I guess, he's turning 70.
He was one of those free spirits who expressed himself. Whether you agreed or not, it created dialogue.
My dad was one of those, he was like one of those James Evans, strong father figure type. But when John Lennon passed away, that really hit him extremely hard.
I need somebody help, not just anybody help. I need someone help. When I was younger, so much younger than today, I never needed anybody's help in any way.
John Lennon was such a power as a songwriter and such a prolific writer and player and expresser of music.
He had a fantastic ability to just say something. Even when he was being sort of abstract, he cut straight into the marrow. Very direct, his writing's so direct.
I think the level that he was on just musically was just like eons beyond where everybody else was.
He wanted to change the world with his music, and that sometimes gets lost. I can't think of anyone that will carry that flag.
He was the first songwriter that I identified with and knew that was just super honest and raw.
His songs and his singing and his personality and his vivacity through his entire career is one of those deeply moving elements that I think every songwriter searches for.
We love John Lennon and his music. We grew up listening to lots of Beatles songs.
The Beatles are the most important band in the history of popular music. And for me, not liking the Beatles is not liking the Bible or Homer.
Being influenced by the Beatles or John Lennon is kind of inescapable if you're a musician.
There's a bunch of songs that I love from the Beatles, and almost unmatched as far as influence on pop culture and songwriting.
The Beatles was really what got me interested in being a fan of music, to where I realized music was going to be really important to me.
My first albums were Beatles albums.
Used to skip school just to listen to that.
They're like the cartoon people out of Yellow Submarine. They really are that. But watching Lennon in the band standing there, this is my band, with his legs sort of slightly apart as if he's going to bop you one right in the nose. And he obviously had a little bit of aggro in him. He added that little bit of spice and darkness to McCartney's sort of embroidery.
Personally, I think he was the most creative of the Beatles. I think he wrote the weirdest stuff, which I guess I'm kind of more into weird things.
I am the Eggman. They are the Eggmen. I am the Walrus.
The only time I met John Lennon is when he came to a party we had in New York in 1979. We spoke briefly, and I can't remember what it was about, but you're a true genius. And I don't band that word around too many times.
He came to see Devo at Max's Kansas City one night. We were sitting in a van in front, and he came out with Ian Hunter from Mott the Hoople. He stuck his head in the van window and started doing the yeah, 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 yeahs from Uncontrollable Urge that were kind of, like a mutation of his yeah, yeah, yeahs.
Technically, the second performance I ever did with any kind of band, not with Against Me, but with any kind of band, was a cover of Imagine.
Hearing the Beatles is a kind of instant throwback to my childhood, which is always nice.
When I was a kid, Dad would be blasting the Revolver album or playing The End from Abbey Road, that type of stuff.
I remember the first time that I really, You Never Got My Heart Broken, that Lennon tune, Jealous Man.
I was dreaming of the past, and I was shivering inside. I'm just a jealous guy.
I'm just a jealous guy. I was trying to catch your eye.
Every media, everything on TV today is geared for illusion of separation and fear. So John Lennon reminds all of us that with imagination we can see a world where peace can be obtained in our lifetime.
His stands on peace and his bed-ins with Yoko, the lengths they went to convince people to try to lead a peaceful existence is something everyone should aspire towards.
I remember there was a story one time how there's a fan that was basically kind of stalking his house for like 3 days. Instead of sending him away, he invited him into his house and gave him food and let him listen to songs. He's got that simmering presence. I find it The only thing that doesn't wear is the sort of Imagine thing, which is weird because that's what everyone sort of throws on him. Imagine all the... Well, there he was with his, penthouse and his house over here and his roller and all that. What? I mean, I don't get that at all. The idealism, that sort of... Idealism I don't buy into. But that would be my only bugbear. I think he's amazing.
Imagine all the people.
His legacy, I immediately just think of, him with his hand up in the peace sign.
He made poetry and lyrics and made you think so many different ways when he wrote songs. So I think for us, we respect him so much, and his music hopefully will live on forever.
John Lennon was an amazing, prolific poet and author and writer and singer. So, much love to him and his family and wherever he may be looking down on us. So.